This is my first time here. What about you?
Yes.
How did you find this place?
A woman on the street gave me the address. She told me it's safe. What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?
You don't have to tell if you don't want to.
I would rather forget. I would rather not be who I was.
What should we call her?
Something foreign. From Europe.
I like Sophia.
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 Sophia. Sophia. So pretty.
Take one.
What?
You'll feel better.
What?
Take it, or you'll hurt my feelings. Why do you want to hurt my feelings?
I got rid of feelings. It interfered with my skin who need extra layers. I have bones, a handful of organs. I don't know how to hurt.
Take it, or she'll be mad.
Why are you talking like that, with your fist like an orange, with your jaw like a brick?
Why are you trying to make me mad?
Good. Smart girl. Now, some lipstick. Turn your head, close your eyes. Purple or pink?
Pink.
My eyes run silently, the chemical sting of powder, of paint. I've never been painted. I hate it. I exhale. They pull my hair. I inhale. Otherwise there is no sound but their chattel. Good girl. Smart girl. So pretty.
What's your name?
My name is Blanca.
I'm Adira. Where are you from?
I come from a village in Guatemala where the mountains meet the sea. If I close my eyes, I can see it so clearly now I can almost touch it. We are farmers. We rent land and grow sugarcane to sell. Whatever money is left over, we keep. We use the animals to help us if we can, and if not, we use the animals for food. This is our life. My father hears that neighboring villages are sending people up north to work in American soil, and he thinks about going. But he learned only young people are allowed, so I tell him I want to go. But he says that a young girl should not go on a journey like that all by herself. But there will be other people my age. Besides, I'm used to working the land. If I can make American money doing the same thing I do in the village, it's also a way for me to explore. I've never been further than the nearest village. I didn't know that once you leave, you don't come back.
Don't come back.
And where do you come from?
India.
What kind of people do you work for?
We work for. There are the ones who brought us here, and there are the managers who pay them. Both keep track of our pay.
Where do you live? Here?
No. No, I live in a smaller building called the motel. It's close enough to walk. They keep you there for a month until they make sure you're a good worker, and then they move you. After that, you're allowed to walk to and from the hotel by yourself.
When do we get paid?
I'm not sure.
Huh? What do you mean?
I haven't gotten any pay since I started. They keep it because I owe the man who brought us here. I hold the door open for guests and welcome them inside, which I and others like us scrub clean from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the night. We're only to rest during our breaks. If we pause during work, a manager comes and yells at us. We have a 30-minute break for lunch in the early afternoon. There are cameras everywhere, and there is always someone watching our every move.
Get back to work. We're not paying you to stand around and talk.
You're not paying us at all. Where are the wages from the last 4 weeks?
That's $50 I'm deducting from your pay. And you still owe me $5,000. Anything else you want to say?
They deduct if we talk back. They deduct if we stay a minute over our 30-minute lunch break. They deduct if we leave a few minutes early or arrive a few minutes late.
So, how much do you owe?
I'm not sure. Somewhere around $2,000 for special documents and $12,000 for travel expenses. It goes on.
Don't you want to know?
Why?
So you can leave.
Everybody wants to leave. No one gets to. The hotel has our passports, our birth certificates, our temporary visas. There's no way out. Maybe what we owe isn't even real. Maybe the numbers mean nothing and no one is keeping track of anyone's death.
This is a nice hotel, isn't it?
Hey, the guest in 305 wants his room cleaned.
At 9 o'clock in the night.
Which one of you is going?
Don't you think it's strange?
Hey, you. Do as you're told or I'll...
Hey, I'll go. It's fine.
Do you speak English?
A little?
Where are you from?
From Taiwan.
Why did you come here?
I was working in a restaurant. A man said I could make more money as a nanny and gave me an address. He said the nanny had gone, so I can do it. I want to make more money to my family. So I went. They have 5 children. I took care of them. I have to cook, clean, do laundry, yard work, and take care of the children.
Cooking, cleaning, laundry. Big deal.
Nanny pan back. The family offered to send me out of the country to work for their friends. They showed me pictures. Big house, big family. I thought I'll learn English and make more money to give back to my family. So I came here.
What was that like?
I was working 16 hours a day. Cleaning, taking care of the children. No days off. Had to get up at 4 a.m. The mother didn't want to hear anything about her kids. So they were my kids, not hers. I miss my mother. She used to sing to me. Để linh si cha buồn đi cha ca kê á khi Hoa chỉ tô khiêu điều nâng sen chi chỉ sen khiêu khi là hốt quê ni chỉ sen quê bia là sân.
What exactly is this place?
I think it's a shelter.
Shelter? What do they do here? What are we waiting for?
I don't know exactly. I think the person in charge, they must be busy. It's safe here.
How much longer do we have to wait? I don't like being kept waiting. They know. They know I've been taking time. Taking time with clients. Making small talk. Taking time from the day. Taking pay from the hands of the handler. Trying to make any talk. Trying to take the edge off the daily. Trying to take time off from the grind. The clients like how I talk. Like how I dream. I tell them I've seen boatloads full of women. I don't say that they're celebrating the end of men.
Look at me. Yes, I said look at me.
So?
You spend an extra 15 minutes with number 4.
Oh.
He didn't pay for extra.
Oh.
Or did he?
No.
You like him?
No.
What about number 6?
No number.
An extra 10 minutes without extra pay.
Oh.
That's all you have to say? Look at me when I talk to you. You made me do that.
First time in a long time I've been hit across the lip. Starts as a rip. After another 5, it's a gash, crawling jagged from chin to eye. Thought they'd only try to make me cry. Why leave a mark this dark? Who's gonna pick a girl with a face tattoo the shape of a man's hate? I watch from outside my body. The battering. The wordless lesson. The other women. Looking on. Flinching. Each time she makes contact. Can't hear. Can't feel. Can only watch the fire spread. The bruises darken. The gulf widens between me and the girl I see. Kept waiting. Kept waiting.
Someone will come.
Why are you singing? It's giving me a headache.
Don't talk to her that way. Leave her alone.
Why did you come here?
Childhood friend had been working at the hotel. She sent me a letter. Adira, you must come here. The hotel is so nice. She made it sound like she had it so good. glamorous even. I couldn't pretend I was happy sitting around my parents' house when my husband left for business and we never heard from him again. There was nothing to do, no jobs for anyone. So I left. When I got there and started working at the hotel, I didn't know whether to laugh or to scream. I was angry. I didn't have the courage to tell my friend, but I wanted to. Oh, I wanted to. Why did I ever let myself be fooled by her? How could I be so stupid? I didn't tell her this because she looked completely different than I knew her. Thin and sallow, older, and her knuckles were raw. From what, I wondered.
How much did you make?
We could keep whatever tips the guest left behind. $10 a week was my average. We were only to rest during our breaks. I learned that if I cleared 3 rooms at a breakneck pace, I could fit in a 15-minute nap before moving on to the next 3 rooms. We had our meals at the hotel. At the beginning, they cost nothing, and then they began to charge us a staff rate. Still, it was cheaper than anywhere else, and we had nowhere to cook.
Where did the maids come from?
Hard to say exactly.
Were they legal?
I'm not sure. The managers had different arrangements with the contractors.
You mean the traffickers? I've heard about them. They make billions off our backs.
Why can't we order pizza? I haven't had one in so long. I forget what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like. I liked it is all I remember.
Pizza? Instead of pizza, something dark. Chunk in my veins. Starting days off, weeks off, months off. Half floating in the air, half aware of what's happening to the body that I used to know. These are the days, the weeks, the months of forgetting, retreat into dark back alleys of the mind. If I'm not in bed, I'm dreaming about being there. Never over. I want to forget. Forget.
Never over.
Never over.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6. Arms, voices, a bare floor. A door opens, closes, opens, closes, voices, warm, hissing, hissing. Sometimes different scenarios.
Sometimes different objects.
Sometimes different words for different clients.
6 days a week. 10, 20 clients per day.
What's your name?
Haley,
From where?
Milwaukee. But then my pimp moved us around. Detroit, Fargo, Houston, wherever. What about you? What was the trip like going El Norte?
A truck, then a train, then a bus. Ours was a truck ride from hell. There were 2 drivers, and they feed us twice a day these little patties made of corn. We drink rainwater that is collected in containers attached to the back of the truck. The day we leave the mountains, we also leave the truck. The guide says that we are free to leave whenever we want. But for most of us, the deeds to our homes have been signed over by our parents and can only be returned once we repay the cost of our transport. This is the first time I hear of this deal that's been struck. I asked the guide how much each of us cost to take north. He says each of us is $15,000.
What kind of work did you do?
The guide took us to an egg farm. When we arrive, the farm manager tells the guide to drive to the end of the road to a building where we'll be living. The farm is very big with many buildings. Our building already has people living in it, but there are 2 empty rooms that are ours. Each room has beds stacked on top of each other, a window, a bucket, and a light bulb. And outside there is a shower stall next to a toilet. The farmhouse is these big wooden buildings where all the chickens live and lay their eggs. Our job is to collect their eggs at every hour. But you have to be careful because the chickens are constantly scratching at you and they can scratch out your eye. This is not what I imagine farm work would be. If we don't finish the work that we are given, then it is held against our debt. Maria, who's been here for 6 months, tells me the debt takes 15 years to repay. On weekends, there is only work, though we have the option of not working on Sunday, but most of us choose to work because it gets us closer to paying our debt.
Did you get any money?
Not a cent.
The pimp promised lots of money to work in a massage parlor. Turned out to be a brothel where they lined us up. A man came, chose 2 of us, paid the pimp. They shook hands. The man took us to his hotel for a week. Another man took us for almost a whole month. The men were all ages, rich, poor, Americans, foreigners, all types. We were girls, boys, trans, some only 10 years old. We tried to run, the pimp beat us. With his hands, with his feet. He beat me on the street. Everyone going by could see. I thought someone would stop and say something. Felt like I wasn't even there. I was numb. Promises.
He promised me a career, dancing, I told my mother, look, instead of being poor, instead of begging, let her come with me outside the country. She'll have money and she'll send them to you.
Where were you?
In Romania. He said he would meet me at the airport. When I got there, the airline agent said he had no record of my name in their system. Then he arrived and told the agent that he had my boarding pass. He said the travel agency asked him to hold into it for safekeeping. It turned out the name on the boarding pass was not mine. It matched the name on the passport that I was given, which I would exchange for my actual passport. He said I would get my passport back upon arrival. He said he was hired by my employer to escort me and two others. The others were girls, 4 or 5 years younger. They didn't talk much. Instead, they held hands and didn't seem to want to let go. Throughout the long flight, I dreamed about my new life. When we landed, he started yelling, "We're late! Things, follow me!" It was dark when we stopped at a 2-story building. It looked abandoned. We entered a smelly room behind the stairs. He told us this would be where we would sleep. Except there were 3 of us and only one bed. One small bed that looked like it belonged to a child. Before anyone could say anything, the door closed and locked. Who do you think you are? I went to the door. Open this door! Open it! I banged on it. I tried to open the door, but it wouldn't move. I looked out and saw the car driving away. What is going on? What are we doing here? I turned around. The girls were in the corner, holding hands, shaking. In the morning, he began shouting at us. Up, get up! It was still dark out. With our flashlight in our faces, we were being rushed out of the room. I hated that room. So good riddance. But where we were going? One of the girls started crying. He yelled for us to get in the car. I got in the car, looked back. Oh, immediately regretting for looking. I turned away. I heard something hard strike against flesh. I didn't want to know. We got in the car. We were driven away.
Where did he take you?
To dance at a club.
Show us!
Start slow, speed up, hold back, release. Start slow. Speed up. Hold back.
Property of DD? What does that mean? Property of DD.
It was the 3rd of September,
A day I'll always remember, 'cause that was the day that my daddy died. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone.
That's pretty. Keep singing.
The first boy I ever kissed. I was 15. He was 17. We sang that song together at my cousin's birthday party. I had no idea who he was. And we finished, and I turned to him, and we kissed. I was so shy. But I had a feeling that if I didn't do it in that moment, then the moment would be gone. And we had such a strong connection when we were singing. I heard Mama say Papa was a jack of all trades. And then all
You
that
married him?
turned out he wanted a physical connection. Nothing more.
Surprise!
I was such a fool. Everything he did, everything he said, I saw through love-struck glasses. When I got pregnant, he wanted me to get rid of the baby. I said, get married. I wanted a wedding at sunset. He wanted to find himself. He said he was leaving.
And that was that.
Well, no. I followed him. He wasn't happy to see me. He hurt me. Told me to leave him alone. I had the baby. And I gave him away. My parents didn't want to deal with me. I ran away. And that was that.
Boys. We were all about the same age in the truck. 14, 15. Most are boys, but there is one other girl, so naturally we become friends. I am stronger than her, so I protect her from these two boys that keep teasing her and calling her skinny as we drive through the mountains, and they are making her cry. One day, I go up to them and I hit them right in the face, like this, with my hand in a ball. After that, they stop.
I think I know boys trying to be men. I think I know, though these boys are not the one I was raised of. They are no one hazy-eyed and sharp-toothed, belonging nowhere. Mine at least knew when to stop playing rough. This couldn't be rough enough. They threw me back and forth, room to room. I exploded inside, again and again. They laughed. I learned you are not enough.
You are not enough for help, for care, for saving from being burned.
What's that?
Don't know.
No bruises. We should never be able to see bruises. It ruins the experience.
Who knows better than you?
What? Did you hear how she spoke to me?
I did.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
The one you like.
If you don't like it here, you can leave. Oh, and don't forget your passport.
What about the room you cleaned last night?
What about it?
You and I both know no room needs cleaning at night. You're so skinny. Is that a cut? You have to hide it. You got hurt again. They were talking about firing you. No one wants a sick girl. I told them you're strong and a hard worker. I convinced them to keep you.
I know.
They're watching you closely now. There's nothing we can do. No papers. I'm not enough. I think about whether I should have stayed and whether going to a new place with new people is a good idea. Are you a slave if you never want to leave?
Sold. A slave.
My room was a large closet with a mattress on the floor. I ate what they left on the plate. I waited on everyone. The mother was always complaining, "You call this clean?" And she beat me. But I loved the children, and they loved me. So I stayed.
How much did you make?
They were rich. But they told me it would be less than they promised because my plane ticket is very expensive. They promised me an allowance. But I never got it.
Sold. A slave. For sex.
Sold for sex?
I want to run away. Run away.
Don't run away. Runaways end up in the park. Nobody cares about you if they find you in the park.
Nobody cares anyway.
No, not true. I do. I have a feeling every one of your clients will too.
Okay.
Why aren't you excited? Are you excited on the inside? You don't have to be emotional. It's more interesting if you're not. This way, nothing is off limits to the clients. They really like you. They would have left us. They keep us alive. You don't interfere with that. We won't interfere with you.
They were always old, going on 16. I was their golden goose, and they all knew it. Hated it, loved it, hated me, worshipped me. Such a thing. Such a human thing to be opposite ends of being at the same time in the same person.
Hard pulls, shocks to scalp, fingers scraping through hair that once belonged to me, now his, without shame. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled. Or saved. Which one? Which one am I?
One of the girls was only 13. Forced to have sex with one man after another. Sometimes 30, 40 men a day. She was ashamed. As if she had done something wrong. She tried to escape. And Pimp beat her in front of us to set an example. And he choked her and burned her. She never tried to run again. I'll kill you if you try to run.
Next time I'll kill you.
We beat them. Sometimes we rape them.
We call it washing the hands.
You're sold. A slave.
I'm not your slave. We're not slaves.
You still owe me $10,000.
I have your papers. Where will you go?
I go back home to my family.
I'm leaving. It's my life.
You are not enough.
I am enough.
I'll kill you if you run.
You will have nightmares about me for the rest of your life. You're mine. My property.
Property? I'm not your property. My name's Miss Nadia. I am Nadia.
Never over. Never over.
Seven days a week, 15 hours a day, 12 months. No emotion became the standard. I had to teach it to the recruits. Tough luck, tough skin, we became tough competition for scraps.
There's supposed to be people who look out for you.
No one looks out for you. You look out for you. Look out for yourself.
Where do you go if you don't know anyone, anywhere?
I go back to Ralph's house. Not the same one. This one lasted. It was full wall to wall with temporary bodies. Permanently scarred. They circled like sharks. Rescue. Waiting for rescue.
I never thought I'd be owned by another human being until it happened.
I was owned. Not allowed out of the house. I asked if I can just make one phone call, and she refused and said I was worthless. I yelled back at her, and she slapped me and told me to get out. I was out of the street.
I start having dreams about escaping. I've never had them before. The dreams are sweet. I can hear my mother's voice telling me to stand up straight, keep looking ahead, keep making me proud.
How did you escape?
They told us to never trust the police, that they arrest people like us because we have no papers. But
One day, the police come, and I hear the manager yelling, "They're here because of us!" All the workers are taken away from the farm, and the manager and the owner are taken away too. I get on a big bus full of people, and at the police station, they give me this address. They tell me I'll be safe. So I come.
I trained the new maids. One of my maids was ordered to clean a room at night. After an hour, she came back with bruises on her wrist and a cut on her mouth. One time, one of the maids walked into a room. There was a man waiting for her. He walked to the open window and jumped. I packed my bag and walked out.
So slowly get out that door. And walked out, whether from exhaustion, junk in my veins. I know I walked out of that room.
On the men who should have helped, who should have listened, who told me that I had better shut up or I'd be arrested too.
I walked out of the street. I looked left, looked right, nowhere to go.
Walked out to the street and looked up and went in the direction of the sun.